You know what this movie felt like? This movie felt like someone sat you in front of a TV and they said, I'm going to make you watch an episode of CSI. And you're really not a CSI fan, but you're like, you know what, I'll watch it. It'll be an interesting case, and I'll get to know the characters and their little quirks and little one-liners, and it'll be fun. But then for some reason, it's the worst episode ever made for CSI, and it's really, really slow and boring, and all of the characters are really dull, and you don't really get a chance to get to know them like they are in other episodes. And that's what this movie felt like. So yeah, this movie has stars in it, but you know what? You don't really care. You honestly just don't really care. No one really stands out. You just don't care. Okay, so let's talk about the story. The first layer that they tell us through exposition is that a woman gets in an accident. Her body is destroyed. So they take her brain and stick it in a robot. Now she's the ghost in the shell. She's the ghost in the shell. They really want you to know this. There's a shell, and she's the ghost inside that shell, just so you know. And it's just really, really weird that they keep pushing in that, but she kind of talks like she's a robot. In her normal conversation with everybody, she talks very robotic, and I didn't understand it because it's still her brain. She still should have normal conversations. She just happens to have a robotic body, but yeah, she talks very robotic. I just don't get it. But yeah, back to the story. Fast forward to the future, we time jump a year, and now she's part of a police task force. And that task force is together one time in the movie, and you really don't get to know the characters. You want to because they seem pretty cool. Everybody actually seems pretty cool, but you just don't get to learn the characters. But anyway, this task force is on a case, and that case leads back to our main character. And then you have the second storyline of the movie, which we can't talk about because it leads into spoilers. Unless you've seen the trailer, then the trailer tells you everything. Oh, and we're in the future. I forgot. We are in the future. Lots of future stuff all around. Nothing really explained, just future stuff. But there's your story. So, my sister came with me to this movie, and during the movie she leans over to me and whispers, "When is this movie going to be over?" And I understand how she felt because this movie is long and slow and boring. But at the same time, they somehow rush the introduction so you don't feel any connection to anyone and you just don't care most of the movie. And I guess it has great visuals. You really don't understand everything you're seeing, but that's really not a problem, I guess, because the character on the screen is going to tell you what you're seeing every single time. It's just exposition thrown in your face, straightforward, no problems. You don't have to figure out anything or pay attention to anything, really. They basically just tell you straightforward what it is. And all of that explaining bogs down the movie and makes it even slower. There is some okay-looking action in the movie, except it's slow motion mixed with fast motion, and it becomes annoying after a while. And again, you really don't care. You remember the last Die Hard movie, Die Harder or whatever it was called, where there was just a bunch of action and you just really didn't care? That's kind of what this movie feels like. Just action that you just don't care about. Oh, and throw in some jump scares, because in a boring movie, you need jump scares to keep the audience awake. And that's what this movie has, a few jump scares to keep you awake. And also, a few random jump cuts to different scenes. I mean, basically, our character goes from one scene to another, and you realize that there's something missing in between, but they don't explain it, or that scene was taken out, and you're just like, okay, I guess I just piece it together myself. And the movie does that a few times. So if I had to decide to watch this in the theater, on Redbox, on TV, or straight garbage, I guess this is for TV. I mean, it's not horrible. It's just really, really boring. There must be something here to enjoy. I just was so bored I didn't enjoy it. But it's hard to say watch it on TV because I want to say put it on in the background and do something else. But then when you turn back to the TV, you won't know what's going on. And that's okay because the movie's boring and you won't care. So I had two nitpicks and my sister actually had a nitpick. My first nitpick is that one of the characters gets robotic eyes and he can see through walls. It's infrared and all these other cool things. And he uses it the first time once he gets the eyes, I guess, to make sure they're working. But then he doesn't use it again at all. Even in action scenes, he doesn't use it, even though it would come in handy. My next nitpick is that the villain in the movie can hack things, but it seems he only chooses certain things to hack. Like, they show you some things are hackable, and you're like, oh, that means he could hack this, but he doesn't, even though it would benefit him to hack certain things. He just doesn't do it. Now, my sister's nitpick is that it's the future, and there's a character in the future smoking regular cigarettes. She explained, if we already have e-cigarettes now, shouldn't they have e-cigarettes in the future or something more advanced? And I thought that was something to point out. But yeah, that's all the nitpicks, guys. Don't go see this movie. Unless you're a fan of it, I don't think you'll really get anything out of it. But that's it, guys. Remember, new episodes of the podcast every Monday and Thursday. Check it out. Really fun, really entertaining, very random. Want to shout out Marie. We want to be the nose ring in your other nostril. Thanks for watching, guys. We love you. You're the greatest. You're awesome. Hit us up on social media. Have a great day. Bye.